Well, in Gaza City, teams from the Civil Defense Agency and Health Ministry are searching for bodies buried in al-Shifa hospital. Families of some missing Palestinians are expected to help identify the remains. Israeli forces repeatedly targeted Gaza's largest hospital during the war. In April last year, an Israeli siege destroyed the facility and killed hundreds of people. And Israel says Hamas was using al-Shifa hospital as a command center, but provided no evidence to support its claims. Meanwhile, Palestinians are struggling to survive as Israel's total blockade enters its 12th day. No food, fuel, medicine or humanitarian aid has been allowed into the Strip since the end of the first phase of the ceasefire. Qatar is mediating talks on that ceasefire here in the capital, Doha. And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has ordered the blockade when Hamas refused to extend the first phase, calling instead for Israel to advance to the second stage as agreed in January. Okay, well, Hani Mahmoud is live for us from al-Shifa hospital, where the search of the bodies is taking place right now. Earlier, Hani, you were speaking to my colleague, we could see people searching, families, it seems, looking for those bodies. A horrific time for many.
Well, Sarah, as the day progresses, we're seeing more people pouring into al-Shifa hospital in an attempt to identify the graves as well as the bodies of their loved ones. We're surprised by, rather shocked by the many people here who gathered at the Shifa hospital searching for their loved ones and family members, but they don't know if they were buried here or not. And this is part of their long journey searching for their loved ones and family members who were gone missing in the past months. So we're going to show you here in the frame of the camera the search that's going on right now in the backyard of the Shifa hospital. First of all, this used to be a parking lot for al-Shifa hospital, turned into a graveyard because of the intensity of the bombing campaign in the past months and the inability of many of the people who were sheltering inside the hospital, or many of the people who were brought to the hospital transferred with critical injuries but died here due to the lack of medical supplies, the lack of oxygen, as when the oxygen station here was targeted and destroyed by Israeli military, leaving many in the ICU at a very critical situation. They died later on throughout the coming days due to lack of many of the basic medical necessities in the hospital. Shifa hospital was stormed twice by the Israeli military and killed as many people as it can here, including medical staff. Among the people who were buried here, nurses and doctors, and we spoke with the medical staff here, describe what happened here when they were trapped inside a Shifa hospital. We ran into a person who was searching for his family members here. He said he knew the graves, he marked them, he's trying to recover the bodies and take them into a burial site. We spoke with a mother who does not know where the body of her son was. She said he was killed, he was transferred to the hospital, and then she went into displacement, did not know where he was buried. She's here hoping she will find him in the graveyard here as bodies are being recovered from the backyard of the hospital. We've seen more heartbreaks evolving here with a father searching for the body of his wife, his 4 daughters, and his in-law. He said medical staff here at the hospital, he was not present when they were all buried here. So it's very, very exhausting, emotionally exhausting for a lot of family members here, particularly for those who are not sure where their loved ones, where their children were buried in the past months, because many of the people, the killing was everywhere, in the streets by the snipers, in the drones, in their homes by the drones, and they were brought to the hospital without their family members following them, giving the intensity of the bombing campaign that unfolded across the Gaza Strip, and the tragedy continues to unfold.
Okay, thank you very much, Hani, there outside al-Shifa hospital with those updates.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.